Destiny with avoidant doesn't look like smooth sailing, and the rough waters are the point, not the problem. Not romantic smooth, not easy connection, not effortless relating, not comfortable intimacy, not simple progression from meeting to commitment. Destiny with avoidant looks like chaos, looks like confusion, looks like push-pull that seems destructive, looks like patterns that seem impossible, looks like dynamic that seems doomed. The seems doomed is what makes people miss destiny, is what makes people walk away from person they're meant to be with, is what makes people choose easier connection over destined chaos, because destined chaos doesn't feel like destiny, feels like dysfunction, feels like wrong person, feels like relationship that's too hard, feels like connection that requires too much, feels like love that costs too much. And costs too much is what destined connection with avoidant feels like before it becomes what it's meant to become, before chaos transforms into depth, before dysfunction transforms into unprecedented, before destined rough becomes destined beautiful, and destined beautiful is endpoint, is what rough waters are leading to, is what chaos is creating, is what impossible is building. But building through destruction is what destiny with avoidant requires going through fire, requires surviving chaos, requires enduring impossible, requires both people being broken open, requires both people transforming, requires relationship that destroys who you were to create who you're meant to become together. And together through destruction is destiny with avoidant, is not easy path, is not smooth journey, is not comfortable process, just necessary, just destined, just what happens when avoidant and right person meet, when defended meets secure, when wounded meets healed, when incapable meets capable, when closed meets open, and open meeting closed creates friction, creates chaos, creates what looks like wrong but is actually right, is actually destined, is actually necessary for both people becoming who they're meant to be. And meant to be is reached through chaos, not despite chaos, through difficulty, not despite difficulty, through seeming impossible, not despite seeming impossible. And seeming impossible being actually destined is what people miss, is what makes them leave too soon, is what makes them choose easier connection, is what makes them miss destiny, because destiny didn't feel destined, felt hard, felt chaotic, felt impossible, felt wrong. But felt wrong is sometimes actually right when both people are meant to transform each other, are meant to break each other open, are meant to catalyze each other's growth, are meant to be together after becoming different through being together, and together requiring transformation is destiny with avoidant, is what always happens when it's real, when it's meant to be, when it's destined despite seeming doomed. The first sign, the connection is undeniable despite the dysfunction. Connection exists that's inexplicable, that transcends logic, that survives dysfunction, that persists through chaos, that endures despite impossibility. The surviving connection is first sign, is indication this might be destined, might be meant to be, might be real despite being hard, because connection that survives dysfunction is rare, is special, is not normal. Normal connection dies under dysfunction, dies under patterns, dies under defended state, dies under push-pull, dies under chaos, just dies, ends, becomes unsustainable, becomes not worth it, becomes something people walk away from. But destined connection doesn't die, doesn't end, doesn't become not worth it, just persists, just survives, just remains despite everything that should kill it. And should kill it but doesn't is first sign of destiny, is indication that something deeper exists, something stronger than patterns, something more powerful than dysfunction, something that transcends defended state, something that survives chaos. And surviving chaos is connection being real, being deep, being meant to be despite seeming impossible. And seemed impossible, but persisting anyway is destined connection, is connection that won't die, won't end, won't be destroyed by patterns that destroy normal connections. And destroyed normal but not this is first sign, is you feeling connection despite avoidance distance, despite avoidance withdrawal, despite avoidance defended state, despite avoidance patterns, despite everything that should make connection impossible. Connection exists anyway, persists anyway, remains anyway. And remains despite everything is you being unable to walk away, unable to be done, unable to stop caring, unable to stop being pulled toward avoidant, despite avoidant being impossible. And impossible but pulled anyway is destined connection. Is connection stronger than logic? Stronger than reason, stronger than self-protection, stronger than patterns. Just stronger, and stronger than everything is first sign this might be destined. Might be meant to be, might be real despite being chaotic. Avoidant also feels connection they can't explain, can't defend against, can't minimize, can't escape. The unexplainable connection is them being unable to stay gone, unable to maintain withdrawal, unable to enforce defended state completely. They withdraw but come back, create distance but close it, push away but return, deactivate but reactivate. The returning despite withdrawing is avoidant feeling connection. Is connection being stronger than defended state? Is pull towards you being stronger than push towards safety? Is intimacy with you being more compelling than protection from intimacy? And more compelling intimacy is rare for avoidant. Is special? Is indication you're different? You're reaching them, you're mattering in ways that penetrate defense, that survive withdrawal, that endure distance, that persist despite patterns. And persisting despite patterns is connection being real for them too, is then unable to stay away despite needing to stay away, unable to maintain distance despite creating distance, unable to keep you out despite defending against letting you in. The unable to keep out is you penetrating defended state, is you being felt despite defenses, is connection existing for them despite defended attempt to prevent connection. And prevented but existing anyway is destined connection from avoidance side. Is them unable to not feel you, unable to not care, unable to not come back. And not coming back is what avoidant does with normal people. Normal connection dies through avoidance patterns, dies through withdrawal, dies through distance, dies through defended state. Dies permanently, avoidant doesn't come back, doesn't reopen, doesn't reactivate. Just stays gone, stays distant, stays defended. But with you, they come back. They reopen, they reactivate, they can't stay gone, can't maintain distance, can't keep defended state intact, and can't maintain defended state with you. Is connection being stronger than defense? Is you being different? Is this being destined? Is connection surviving what kills normal connection? And survived defense is first sign from both sides, both feeling connection that won't die, that won't end, that won't be destroyed by defended state, just exists, just persists, just survives, just remains. And remained connection despite dysfunction is first sign of destiny, is indication this might be meant to be, might be real, might be worth the chaos, might be destined despite difficulty. The connection also reveals itself through how you see each other. You see beneath their defended state to wounded person underneath, see beneath patterns to fear driving patterns, see beneath distance to longing for connection, see beneath rejection to protection against hurt. The seeing beneath is you understanding them in ways others don't. Others see patterns and leave, see distance and quit, see rejection and walk away. But you see beneath, see wound, see fear, see protection, see person who's scared, not person who's cold. Person who's protecting, not person who's rejecting. Person who's wounded, not person who's cruel. And wounded seen as wounded is you having vision others lack, having understanding others don't possess, having capacity to see truth others miss. And seeing truth others miss is indication you're meant for them, are designed to understand them, are capable of being with them in ways others aren't capable. And capable of being with defended person is rare capacity. His special gift is indication you're meant to be person who reaches them, who understands them, who sees them, who doesn't leave when others leave, who doesn't quit when others quit, who sees beneath when others see surface. And seen beneath is what avoidant needs, what avoidant rarely receives. What avoidant finds with you, and found with you, is them being seen in ways they're never seen, being understood in ways they're never understood, being known in ways they're never known. And known deeply is them feeling safe enough to be unsafe, is them trusting enough to distrust, is then opening enough to close, is contradictions existing simultaneously because you hold space for contradictions, hold space for defended and wanting connection, hold space for distant and needing closeness, hold space for rejecting and fearing rejection, and held contradictions is then being able to be full self, full complicated defended, scared, wounded self. And full self with you is rare, is special, is indication this is destined, this is meant to be. This is connection that sees truth, that understands depth, that knows person beneath patterns. And known person beneath patterns is connection being real, being deep, being destined. The second sign, You both transform in ways you never transform with anyone else. You become more of yourself through loving them, more boundaried through needing boundaries, more self-respecting through requiring self-respect, more whole through choosing wholeness, more powerful through claiming power, more clear through demanding clarity, more strong through developing strength. The more yourself is you growing through difficulty, growing through chaos, growing through impossibility of loving avoidant. And impossibility driving growth is destiny operating, is relationship designed to transform you, designed to break you open, designed to force you to develop what you lack, what you need, what you must become. And must become is you developing boundaries where you had none, developing self-respect where you sacrificed, developing wholeness where you abandoned yourself, developing power where you gave power away, developing clarity where you accepted confusion, developing strength where you tolerated weakness. And developed through difficulty is you becoming who you're meant to be, not despite loving avoidant. Through loving avoidant, through chaos of loving avoidant, through impossibility of sustaining connection with avoidant. And sustained through transformation is you becoming stronger version, clearer version, more boundaried version, more whole version, more powerful version. And powerful, whole, boundaried, clear, strong version is who you're meant to be, who you become through loving avoidant, who emerges through chaos, who is forged through impossibility. And forged through fire is you being transformed, being grown, being developed, being made more and made more through loving avoidant, is second sign of destiny, is you becoming better through relationship that seems destructive, becoming stronger through connection that seems weakening, becoming more yourself through love that seems self-abandoning. But seems self-abandoning is actually self-discovering when done right, when boundaries develop, when self-respect emerges, when wholeness forms, when power claims, when clarity demands, when strength develops, and developed self is you, transformed, you grown, you better, you more. All through loving avoidant, all through chaos, all through seeming impossible, and seemed impossible creating transformation is destiny, is relationship designed to grow you, to transform you, to make you more. And more you is who emerges from chaos, who survives impossibility, who becomes through seeming destruction. And become through destruction is second sign of destined connection. Avoidant also transforms in ways they never transform with anyone else, becomes more vulnerable through you, more open through connection with you, more capable through loving you, more willing through wanting you, more present through needing you, more attached through bonding with you. The more vulnerable is them opening in ways they don't open, can't open, won't open with others. But with you, they open, they soften, they let in, they allow closeness, they permit knowing. They accept being seen. The accepted being seen is transformation, is them becoming less defended, less protected, less walled, less distanced, more accessible, more reachable, more available, more present. And present with you is them transformed, is them being different person with you than with anyone else. Being more themselves with you, more whole with you, more real with you, more vulnerable with you. And vulnerable with you is massive transformation for avoidant, is them doing what they can't do, what they won't do, what they've never done, what they don't do with anyone but you. And anyone but you is you being special, being different, being person who reaches them, who opens them, who transforms them, who makes them capable of what they're incapable of with others. And incapable with others but capable with you is destiny, is you being designed for them, being meant for them, being person who unlocks what's locked in them, who reaches what's unreachable in them, who opens what's closed in them. And opened by you is them transformed, is them becoming more, becoming capable, becoming vulnerable, becoming attached, becoming open, all through you, all because of you, all in response to you. And response to you being transformation is second sign from avoidance side, is them becoming different through knowing you, through loving you, through being with you. And being with you transforming them is destiny operating, is relationship designed to transform both, to grow both, to develop both, to make both more. And made more through each other is destined connection, is both people transforming, both people growing, both people becoming, both people being made better through chaos, through difficulty, through impossibility of being together, and impossibility creating transformation in both is second sign of destiny. Is clear indication this is meant to be. This is designed to grow both. This is destined to transform both. This is real despite being chaotic. This is right despite being difficult. This is meant to be despite being impossible, and impossible but transforming both is second sign, is both becoming more, both growing deeper, both developing further, both transforming completely, all through each other, all because of each other, all destined through each other. The third sign, you keep coming back together no matter how many times you separate. Separations happen, multiple separations, repeated separations, separations that seem final, separations where both walk away, where both enforce distance, where both try to move on, where both attempt to be done. The attempted done is sincere, is both genuinely trying to end it, trying to be finished, trying to move forward separately, trying to accept it's over, trying to let go. But letting go doesn't last. Done doesn't stick. Separated doesn't stay separated. Distance doesn't remain distance. Apart doesn't stay apart. Something pulls both back. Something draws both together. Something makes separation impossible to maintain. Something makes done become undone. An undone separation is third sign, is both being unable to stay apart, unable to remain separated, unable to be actually done despite trying to be done, despite enforcing separation, despite walking away. Despite both choosing apart doesn't last, separation ends, distance closes, done becomes undone, and undone repeatedly is destiny. Operating is destined connection pulling stronger than conscious choice. To separate is bond being deeper than decision to part. Is pull toward each other being more powerful than push toward apart. And powerful pull is what brings both back. What ends separations, what closes distance, what makes done become trying again, and trying again after separation is pattern. Is repeated pattern, is both coming back together after being apart, both reuniting after separating, both choosing together after choosing apart, the chosen together after chosen apart, is third sign, is clear indication something destined exists. Something meant to be operates. Something beyond conscious control pulls both back, pulls both together, pulls both toward reunion, toward trying again, toward not being done despite choosing done. And not being done despite choosing done is destiny refusing separation. Is destined bond refusing distance. Is meant to be refusing apart, just refusing, just pulling, just drawing both back together, again and again and again. No matter how many separations, no matter how final separations seem, no matter how done both try to be. Done doesn't last. Final isn't final. Separation becomes reunion, apart becomes together, and together after apart repeatedly is third sign of destiny. The reunions also have specific quality, have feeling of rightness despite wrongness, have sense of home despite chaos, have experience of belonging despite dysfunction, have feeling of this is where I'm meant to be despite this is impossible. The contradictory feelings exist simultaneously. This feels right and this feels impossible coexisting. This feels like home and this feels like chaos coexisting. This feels like belonging and this feels like dysfunction coexisting. The coexisting contradictions is destined connection signature. Is both and instead of either or. Is right and impossible. Is home and chaos. Is belonging and dysfunction. All true simultaneously. All existing together, all being held in relationship. And held contradictions is what makes relationships seem crazy, seem dysfunctional, seem like you should quit. But should quit meets can't actually quit, meets keep coming back, meets separation becoming reunion, meets apart becoming together, and together despite should be apart, is destiny pulling, is meant to be operating, is bond refusing to break despite being tested repeatedly, despite being strained constantly, despite seeming impossible to maintain, maintains anyway, survives anyway, persists anyway, brings both back together anyway, and together anyway is third sign. Is pattern of separation and reunion indicating destiny, indicating meant to be, indicating bond too strong to break, connection too deep to sever, pull too powerful to resist. And resisted but failing to resist is both trying to stay apart and being unable to stay apart. Both choosing separation and being pulled toward reunion, both enforcing distance and being drawn toward closeness, both walking away and being called back. And called back is destiny operating, is something deeper than conscious choice pulling, something stronger than logical decision drawing, something more powerful than reasonable assessment compelling, just pulling, just drawing both back together, back into trying, back into connection, back into each other. And each other is where both belong, where both are meant to be, where both are destined to end up despite detours, despite separations, despite attempts to be done, despite choosing apart. Apart doesn't last, done doesn't stick. Separated becomes together, and together repeatedly after separated repeatedly is third sign, is clear undeniable pattern of destiny, of meant to be, of bond that won't break, of connection that won't sever, of pull that won't quit. Just pulls, just draws, just brings back together, always, eventually. Inevitably, repeatedly, and repeatedly together after repeatedly apart is destiny's signature, is meant to be's pattern, is destined connection's rhythm, rhythm of apart and together, of separation and reunion, of done and trying again, all repeated, all patterned, all indicating destiny, all showing meant to be, all proving bond too strong, connection too deep, pull too powerful, and powerful pull bringing together repeatedly is third sign of destined connection with avoidant. The fourth sign, the growth happens in the space between you. Time apart creates growth, distance creates transformation, separation creates development, space creates change. The created change is both people growing during separations, growing individually, growing separately, growing into versions capable of being together, and capable versions emerging through space between as destiny's design. Is relationship knowing both need time, need distance, need separation, need space to become who they must become before union is sustainable. And sustainable union requiring individual growth is why separations happen, why distance occurs, why space is necessary, why time apart is part of destiny. Is time apart creating growth that time together couldn't create, creating transformation that connection wouldn't catalyze, creating development that relationship would prevent, and prevented growth during togetherness is limitation of being together before being ready, before being grown enough, before being transformed enough, before being developed enough. The not enough yet requires space, requires distance, requires separation, requires time apart, and time apart creating growth is destiny protecting, is meant to be ensuring, is destined connection preparing both people. Preparing through distance, preparing through space, preparing through separation, preparing through time apart that feels like ending but is actually preparing, and preparing through seeming ending is fourth sign. Is separations being necessary, not destructive, being growth creating, not relationship destroying, being transformation catalyzing, not bond severing, being development enabling, not connection ending, and connection not ending despite separation is separation being temporary, being protective, being necessary, being part of process of both becoming ready, both growing sufficient, both transforming adequately, both developing enough to sustain togetherness, enough to maintain connection, enough to bear intensity, enough to contain contradictions. And contained contradictions requiring growth is growth happening in space between, in distance created, in separation enforced, in time apart experienced, and experienced time apart creating necessary growth is fourth sign of destiny. You grow during separations in specific ways. Grow boundaries you lacked, grow self-respect you needed, grow wholeness you missed, grow power you gave away, grow clarity you avoided, grow strength you required. The grown aspects are what separation teaches, what distance develops, what space creates, what time apart builds, and built during separation is you becoming capable, becoming ready, becoming sufficient, becoming enough to be with avoidant without losing yourself, enough to love avoidant without abandoning yourself, enough to stay with avoidant without sacrificing yourself. And sacrifices avoided through developed capacity is you growing during space, growing into person who can be with avoidant healthily, who can love avoidant boundariedly, who can stay with avoidant wholly, and whole boundaried healthy is you transformed through separation. You grown through distance, you developed through space, you made ready through time apart, and ready through apart is destiny, using separation to prepare you, to grow you, to transform you, to make you capable of what's coming, of reunion that's sustainable, of connection that's healthy, of relationship that works. And works after separation is relationship working because separation created growth, created transformation, created development, created readiness, and readiness created by separation is fourth sign from your side. is you growing during distance, developing during space, transforming during time apart, all preparing you, all making you ready, all creating capacity. Capacity to be with avoidant, to love avoidant, to sustain connection with avoidant, and sustained connection after growth is reunion working. Is togetherness being different? Is relationship being sustainable? Is both being ready, both being grown, both being transformed, both being developed enough, and enough through separation is destiny's process. Is meant to be's method, is destined connection's path through separation, through distance, through space, through time apart, all creating growth, all building capacity, all preparing both for sustainable union, both for healthy connection, both for relationship that works and works after growing apart. Is fourth sign, is growth happening in space between? Is transformation occurring during distance? Is development emerging through separation, all necessary, all destined, all part of meant to be, part of process of becoming ready, becoming capable, becoming sufficient, becoming grown enough to sustain what's destined, what's meant to be, what's coming after growth completes, after transformation finishes, after development concludes, after readiness emerges. And emerged readiness bringing sustainable reunion is destiny manifesting, is meant to be actualizing, is destined connection finally working, finally sustainable, finally healthy, finally right. All because growth happened, growth in space between, growth during separations, growth through distance, growth creating readiness, readiness for destiny, readiness for meant to be, readiness for destined, sustainable, healthy union. And union after growth is fourth sign, is clear indication separations are necessary, are part of destiny, are creating growth required, are preparing both people, both for each other, both for relationship, both for sustainable union. And sustainable union after growth in separation is fourth sign of destined connection. Avoidant also grows during separations, grows more vulnerable, grows more open, grows more capable, grows more willing, grows more attached, grows more available. The grown capacity is them transforming during distance, transforming during time apart, transforming into person capable of sustaining intimacy, of maintaining connection, of being in relationship, of loving openly, of attaching securely, and attached securely is transformation, is them becoming different, is them growing into secure enough, open enough, vulnerable enough, capable enough, and enough developed through separation is avoidant using distance to grow, using space to transform, using time apart to develop. Develop capacity they lack, capacity relationship requires, capacity you deserve, capacity sustainable union demands. And demanded capacity emerging through space apart is avoidant growing, is avoidant transforming, is avoidant becoming ready. Ready for you, ready for relationship, ready for sustainable connection, ready for destined union. And ready through growth during separation is fourth sign from avoidant side, is them transforming during distance, developing during space, growing during time apart, all preparing them, all making them capable, all creating readiness, readiness to be with you, to love you, to sustain connection with you, to maintain relationship with you. And maintained relationship after growth is reunion being different, being sustainable, being healthy, being right, being destined, being meant to be, being what both are ready for after growing apart, after transforming separately, after developing individually, after becoming capable personally, and capable personally creating capable together is both growing in space between, both transforming during separations, both developing through distance, both becoming ready through time apart, and ready through apart, creating sustainable together is fourth sign, is growth in space between preparing both, is separations being necessary, not destructive, is distance being protective, not harmful, is time apart being growth creating, not relationship ending, and relationship strengthened through separation is destiny operating, is meant to be using distance to prepare closeness, using separation to create sustainable union, using time apart to build readiness for together, and together after apart being sustainable is fourth sign, is clear indication this is destined, this is meant to be, this requires growth, this demands transformation, this needs separation. This uses distance, this creates through space between, creates growth, creates readiness, creates capacity, creates sustainable eventual union, and union eventual after growth is destiny. Is meant to be is what happens when avoidant and right person are destined, are meant for each other, are designed to grow each other, to transform each other, to prepare each other, all through chaos, all through difficulty, all through separations, all through distance, all through space between, all creating growth, growth preparing both for destiny, both for meant to be, both for sustainable union, union that comes, that manifests, that actualizes, after growth, after transformation, after development, after readiness, and readiness creating union is fourth sign of destined connection. The fifth sign, when you're finally both ready, everything clicks into place effortlessly. After all the chaos, after all the separations, after all the growth, after all the transformation, after both becoming ready, something shifts. Shifts completely, shifts permanently. Shifts into alignment, into ease, into flow, into rightness, into effortlessness. The shifted into effortless is fifth sign. Is final sign is sign that destiny is manifesting. That all the chaos was preparation. All the difficulty was necessary. All the impossibility was creating possibility. And created possibility through survived impossibility is relationship finally working, finally being easy, finally flowing, finally feeling right, finally being sustainable. And sustainable after chaos is transformation complete. Is both people ready? Is timing aligned? Is growth sufficient? Is capacity developed? Is readiness emerged? And emerged readiness creating effortless connection is destiny manifesting. Is meant to be becoming real. Is destined union actualizing after everything, after chaos, after difficulty, after separations, after becoming ready, both grown, both transformed, both capable, both sufficient. And sufficient, both creating effortless together, is fifth sign, is final sign, is proof this was destined, this was meant to be, this was worth the chaos, worth the difficulty, worth the impossibility, worth the separations, worth the growth, worth the transformation, worth everything, because everything led here, led to effortless, led to sustainable, led to right, led to destiny manifested, led to meant to be actualized, led to union that works, that flows, that feels easy, that is right. And right after wrong is destiny, is meant to be, is what always happens when avoidant and right person are destined to be together. How you recognize the shift from chaos to destiny manifesting. Recognition comes through feeling, through experiencing relationship differently, through noticing what changed, what transformed, what shifted from impossible to possible, from chaotic to peaceful, from dysfunctional to functional, from exhausting to energizing, from depleting to fulfilling. The felt difference is undeniable, is visceral, is you experiencing relationship that once drained you now filling you, relationship that once confused you now clarifying you, relationship that once destabilized you now grounding you, relationship that once cost you now giving to you. The cost to give transformation is evidence, is proof readiness emerged, is demonstration of destiny actualizing. And actualized destiny feels different, feels easy where it was hard, feels clear where it was confusing, feels stable where it was chaotic, feels mutual where it was one-sided, feels balanced where it was imbalanced, feels reciprocal where it was depleting, and reciprocal, balanced, mutual, stable, clear, easy is relationship transformed, is connection manifested, is destiny actualized. And actualized through transformation is you recognizing this is different, this is new. This is what chaos was building toward, what impossibility was creating, what difficulty was preparing, what separations were developing, what growth was enabling. And enabled through growth is relationship working finally. Working because both ready, both grown, both transformed, both capable, both sufficient. And sufficient both is what makes relationship easy, makes connection flow, makes intimacy sustainable, makes love mutual, makes partnership balanced, makes union work, and worked union is destiny manifested. You also recognize shift through avoidance behavior being consistently different, being reliably available, being predictably present, being dependably open, being constantly choosing connection. The consistent choosing is transformation visible, is growth demonstrated, is capacity proven, is readiness shown, is them being different person, not occasionally different, not temporarily different, not performatively different, actually different, fundamentally different, consistently different, reliably different. And reliably different is growth integrated, is transformation complete, is new patterns established, is old patterns transformed, is defended state softened, is walls lowered, is distance decreased, is withdrawal managed, is deactivation handled, is fear faced, is vulnerability chosen, is connection maintained, is relationship prioritized, is you valued, is love expressed, is commitment demonstrated, is future planned, is security created, is partnership built, is union sustained, and sustained partnership is avoidant, transformed. Is avoidant grown? Is avoidant ready? Is avoidant capable? Is avoidant being partner, being lover, being available, being present, being open, being vulnerable, being choosing you, consistently, reliably, predictably, dependably? And dependably choosing you is shift recognized. Is destiny manifesting? Is meant to be actualizing? Is relationship working because avoidant is different, is capable, is ready, is grown? Is transformed and transformed avoidant creating sustainable relationship? Is fifth sign manifesting? Is chaos resolved into peace? Is difficulty transformed into ease? Is impossibility becoming possibility? Is destiny actualized? The shift also reveals itself through conflict being handled differently, being navigated constructively, being resolved collaboratively, being used for growth, not destruction. Being opportunity for deeper connection, not reason for distance. The transformed conflict navigation is both people being different, being more mature, being more capable, being more secure, being more willing, being more committed, being more invested in resolution than being right. Being more focused on connection than winning argument. Being more oriented toward understanding than defending position, being more interested in growing together than protecting individually, and together oriented is relationship matured. Is partnership formed? Is union solidified? Is both choosing we over me? Choosing us over I, choosing connection over protection, choosing vulnerability over defense, choosing growth over comfort, choosing relationship over ego. And relationship over ego is transformation complete. Is both being ready for sustainable union? Is both being capable of navigating difficulty? Is both being willing to work through conflict? Is both being committed to resolution? Is both being oriented toward connection? And connection oriented, both is destiny manifesting, is meant to be creating sustainable union, is chaos transformed into functional partnership, is difficulty becoming navigable challenges, is impossibility revealed as difficulty requiring growth, and growth completed creating easy navigation is fifth sign recognized, is shift felt, is destiny manifesting, is meant to be actualizing, is relationship working because both are different, both are grown, both are ready, both are capable, both are transformed, both are choosing connection, both are prioritizing partnership, both are building union, both are sustaining relationship, and sustained relationship is destiny manifested. What the manifested destiny actually looks like in daily life. Manifested destiny looks like security, like knowing, like certainty, like trust, like peace, like ease, like flow, like rightness, like home, like belonging, like safety, like being chosen, like being valued, like being prioritized, like being loved. The being loved is consistent, is reliable, is demonstrated daily, is shown through actions not just stated through words, is proven through choices, through priorities, through time, through energy, through presence, through attention, through care, through consideration, through effort, through commitment, through follow-through, through reliability, through dependability, through showing up, through being there, through choosing you, consistently, daily, reliably, predictably. And predictably chosen is security created, is trust built, is safety established, is peace experienced, is home found, is belonging felt, is love known, known deeply, known certainly, known without doubt, known without question, known without fear, known securely. And securely known love is manifested destiny, is what chaos created, is what difficulty built, is what impossibility was preparing, is what separations were developing, is what growth was enabling. And enabled through transformation is love that's secure, connection that's stable, relationship that's sustainable, partnership that's functional, union that works. And works daily is destiny manifested in ordinary moments, in daily choices, in consistent presence, in reliable availability, in predictable choosing, in demonstrated love, in proven commitment, in established security, in built trust, in created safety. And created safety, trust, security is home, is belonging, is being loved securely, is destiny manifested. Manifested destiny also looks like avoidant being integrated into your life, into your future, into your plans, into your world, into your people, into your spaces, into your dreams, into your goals. Into your everything, the integrated everywhere is them being partner, being person you're building with, being future you're creating with, being life you're living with, being dreams you're pursuing with, being goals you're achieving with, being everything you're experiencing with. And experiencing everything with is partnership, is union, is togetherness that's complete, that's integrated, that's whole, that's merged, that's combined, that's shared, that's mutual, that's reciprocal, that's balanced, that's equal. And equal partnership is both contributing, both building, both creating, both sharing, both giving, both receiving, both supporting, both being supported, both loving, both being loved, both choosing, both being chosen, both committed, both invested, both present, both available, both open, both vulnerable, both secure, both trusting, both trusted, both valuing, both valued, both prioritizing, both prioritized, and prioritized mutually is destiny manifested, is both being equally invested, equally committed, equally present, equally available, equally choosing, equally loving, and equally everything is partnership balanced, is union sustainable, is relationship healthy, is connection functional, is destiny actualized, is meant to be manifested, is chaos transformed into peace, is difficulty transformed into ease, is impossibility transformed into beautiful reality, and beautiful reality is what destined chaos becomes through growth, becomes through transformation, becomes through both becoming ready, becomes through timing aligning, becomes through capacity developing, becomes through readiness emerging, becomes through destiny manifesting. And manifested destiny is life together, future together, dreams together, goals together, world together, everything together. And together in everything is fifth sign actualized, is final sign manifested, is destiny complete, is meant to be realized, is union achieved, is relationship working, is connection sustainable, is partnership functional, is love secure, is trust established, is safety created, is peace experienced, is home found, is belonging felt, is everything right, finally right, permanently right, completely right, after everything, after chaos, after difficulty, after impossibility, after separations, after becoming ready. Both ready, both grown, both transformed, both capable, both choosing, both committed, both loving, both building, both creating, both sustaining, both being together, being partnered, being united, being destined, being meant to be, being everything chaos promised, everything difficulty prepared, everything impossibility created, everything separations developed, everything growth enabled, everything transformation manifested, and manifested through everything is destiny, is meant to be, is what always happens when avoidant and right person are destined to be together. The difference between destined chaos and actual dysfunction: destined chaos has growth embedded, has transformation occurring, has both people becoming more, becoming better, becoming capable, becoming ready, becoming grown. The becoming more is absent in actual dysfunction. Actual dysfunction has stagnation, has repetition without growth, has patterns without transformation, has chaos without purpose, has difficulty without development, has impossibility without becoming possible. The without growth is actual dysfunction. Is relationship that's truly dysfunctional? Is connection that's actually toxic? Is dynamic that's genuinely harmful? Is pattern that's purely destructive? Is chaos that's meaningless? Is difficulty that's pointless? Is impossibility that's permanent? And permanent impossibility without growth is actual dysfunction. Is relationship to leave? Is connection to end? Is dynamic to escape? Is pattern to break? Is difficulty to abandon? Is impossibility to accept as impossible, and accepted as actually impossible is wisdom, is discernment, is recognizing difference between destined chaos and actual dysfunction. And recognized difference is knowing when to stay and when to leave, when chaos is creating and when chaos is destroying, when difficulty is developing and when difficulty is damaging, when impossibility is preparing possibility. And actual impossibility is relationship without growth, without transformation, without both becoming more, without progress, without development, without change, without evolution, without movement towards sustainable, without trajectory toward healthy, without path toward functional. Just stuck, just repeating, just damaging, just destroying, just impossible. Permanently impossible and permanent impossibility is actual dysfunction, is not destiny, is not meant to be, is just dysfunction, is relationship to leave, to end, to quit, to escape. And escaped actual dysfunction is self-protection, is wisdom, is choosing yourself, is recognizing this isn't destined chaos, is actual dysfunction, is truly impossible, is genuinely harmful, is purely destructive. And destructive without growth is not destiny, is dysfunction. And dysfunction is to leave. But destined chaos has hope embedded, has visible progress, has both transforming, has growth occurring, has capacity developing, has readiness emerging, has relationship improving despite difficulty, has connection deepening despite chaos, has bond strengthening despite impossibility. The strengthening despite is destined chaos signature, is difficulty creating depth, is chaos creating growth, is impossibility creating transformation, is both becoming more through surviving difficulty together, through enduring chaos together, through growing through impossibility together, and growing through together is destined chaos. Is chaos with purpose? Is difficulty with direction? Is impossibility with trajectory? Trajectory toward sustainable, toward healthy, toward functional, toward right, towards easy, toward peaceful, toward destined manifestation. And manifested destiny is endpoint, is what chaos creates, is what difficulty develops, is what impossibility prepares, is what growth enables, is what transformation produces, is what readiness actualizes. And actualized readiness creating sustainable union is destined chaos revealed as destined, as meant to be, as worth the difficulty, worth the chaos, worth the impossibility, worth the separations, worth the growth, worth the transformation, worth everything, because everything led here. Led to destiny manifested, led to meant to be actualized, led to sustainable union, led to healthy partnership, led to secure love, led to integrated life together, led to future together, led to everything together, and together after chaos is destiny, is meant to be, is what always happens when avoidant and right person are destined to be together. When chaos is destined, not dysfunctional. When difficulty is preparatory, not purely destructive. When impossibility is temporary, not permanent. When both are growing, not stagnating. When transformation is occurring, not just damage accumulating. When readiness is emerging, not just wounds deepening. When destiny is manifesting, not just dysfunction repeating. And manifesting destiny through survived chaos is recognition, is knowing, is certainty, is trusting, is believing, is staying, is enduring, is growing, is transforming, is becoming ready. Is both becoming ready, is timing aligning, is capacity developing, is growth completing, is transformation finishing, is readiness emerging, is destiny manifesting, is meant to be actualizing, is union forming, is partnership building, is relationship sustaining, is connection working, is love secure, is trust established, is safety created, is peace experienced, is home found, is belonging felt, is everything right, is chaos transformed, is difficulty resolved, is impossibility overcome, is separation ended, is growth completed, is transformation finished, is readiness emerged, is destiny manifested, is meant to be actualized, is if destined together this always happens, this chaos, this difficulty, this impossibility, this separation, this growth, this transformation, this readiness, this manifestation, this actualization, this union, this partnership, this relationship, this connection, this love, this security, this trust, this safety, this peace, this home, this belonging, this rightness, this destiny, this meant to be, this always, this happens, this is what happens when avoidant and you are destined to be together.